Hi, Mochismo Eugene, and welcome to another video from Exit Strategy. Please like, subscribe, share the video if you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up, pass it on if you believe someone else would benefit from it as well. I would appreciate that. Well chosen, awakened empaths, when you go from absorbing to observing narcissists and their behavior, when you go from just being highly perceptive and not speaking on something, or speaking on something, as now to observing and perceiving something and not speaking on it. Every wrong doesn't have to be righted by you. You're going to see that the people around you will scatter. They will disappear. Like I always like to say, like a roach with the lights on. You won't look for them, but you won't be able to find them. You'll go to the store. You will go to the gas station. You may see one of them getting in their car, as opposed to times past. They would shuck and jive with you. They get in their car like they got warrants from the police. They are the fugitive. They become the hunted. And you're not hunting them on purpose. Your aura, your whole existence has been reimagined. You have gone in and did some work on yourself. You've went in the lab and you've come out and you're a monster. You are a monster. You can sense things unlike never before. And this is something they see and they observe and they sense this. This is what they're running from. They're running from their self to begin with. And not so much just always narcissists. It could have been some people who collaborated with the narcissist in ignorance in trying to kiss up and gain favor with narcissists, because you know they have a persuasion. If you didn't know them, you would think that they were your best friends. So some of these people have pledged allegiance in error. They too sense this about you. And they can't figure it out, nor do they want to figure it out. They just have no interest in trying to be around you anymore, because there's something that's unsettling about you. Not in the way that they used to degrade and smear you. It is something deeper than that. There's a depth. And see, what they don't understand, you have been sealed with the covenant of God. This was what makes you a chosen one. God chose you. This is why we say chosen ones. We don't think we're chosen in and of ourselves. We have acknowledged the fact that God has chosen us. There's something intricate within us that helps us believe this. We have been chosen from birth to go about this land and do a will for God. And in the course of doing that, there were things to be learned and things to be mastered. This is why no matter how narcissists and the powers of darkness have tried to destroy empaths, to no avail. This is why you've had near-death experience independently, apart from a narcissist's dirty hands in it. You have you have just escaped death by the sure hand of God, because there's no other explanations for it. And so they know you're something to be reckoned with. And so you now are able to go from absorbing the smears, the deflections, the projections of all kind of low vibrational people. You're now able to observe and not absorb. You don't get caught into all of these tongue wrestling conversations in which they will lure you in. You will go into a place and you'll end up saying to yourself, how did we get here? I just came in. And it'll be a debate of a disgusting magnitude. You will feel disgusting, and you're not even saying anything out of pocket. You're not saying anything derogatory or demeaning. But these people, it's almost like they are beating you aside the head with an object. And this is what they do because you're being put in a fog. First of all, you don't see this coming when the projection or, the deflection happens. And you somehow start absorbing this as though you did something wrong, but you don't logically see anything that you did wrong. Yet and still, as an empath, you are absorbing it because you know right away there's nothing that even makes sense as to why you should be being treated the way you're being treated. But when you're awakened and you become aware and in tune of yourself, and you understand these demonic entities, you begin to observe it stoically rather than absorb it. And so this is just one of many things that you'll observe as you continue to elevate your vibration and start separating yourself and disconnecting from the toxicity that you once used to sit around. Even though you may not have been in the midst of it or in the middle of it, you hung around it. You may have been at a table at the break room at work next to where all the riffraff was happening at. So you not only have to disconnect from it, you have to distance yourself. And I want to say this before I get off of here. And this no explanation needed for this. Just find your way out of these situations if you're in them. And this is encouraging for you. If you're watching these shows like Desperate Housewives, Lock Up, for you guys, all of this type of stuff that keeps you in this loop of acceptance of how this world is going. Because a lot of this stuff we're watching and a lot of this stuff that we're consuming, it is keeping us in a stagnant state of mind. Lean towards things that elevate your vibration, things that release healthy endorphins. Don't chase things that you're looking for a dopamine hit that have so much negativity and toxicity attached to them. And I know that might be hard to do in this world, but there are things that you can recognize that are just not beneficial for you. I mentioned this in a video some years ago, whereas I was at the public library and this young lady sitting next to me on the computers. This is when you could go in and use the public library computers. I don't know if they still do that. They probably do. This young lady was just looking at YouTube fights of kids meeting up and fighting one another. And she had the volume up as loud as it can go, where everybody can hear it. All of that chaos and stuff going on around me, beside me, and throughout the library, that was a low vibrational state. So not to belabor the point, just monitor and be mindful and manage what you consume as far as that stuff go. And it goes just beyond just the things you can see right in front of you. If things come in your life and they're around you and they're just heavily toxic, distance yourself from them, because you don't need those type of things in your space that you're trying to be in right now. You're trying to elevate in order to be able to do what God sent you here to do. You don't need to be distracted, because those things oftentimes are built to distract you, because the powers of the air of darkness, they are everywhere, and they recognize angelic beings, angelic souls. And so if you're that angelic soul and you don't mean no harm, irregardless of your flaws and setbacks in life and the things that you've done under the sight of God that weren't always righteous, still you have your life and you have your focus to be concerned about in order so you can get focused in order to help someone else along the way. You don't have time to be caught up in this foolishness, guys. So just a gentle reminder, okay? So learn to observe rather than absorb narcissistic personality disorder, toxicity. That being said, bless.